Hey everybody, how's it going for fucking 4th of July night? So, I have three movies planned for tonight. This one, which obviously from the description, you already know what it is. It's not a surprise or anything. The terrible sequel to it, which will be funny as shit to rip that apart. And I have not decided on the finale for 4th of July yet. But I've been putting some requests or recommendation posts on different Reddits I belong to see if someone can come up with just like a ridiculous, just like insane movie that will be funny as shit to watch. But yeah, like I said earlier, this is gonna be a nice little fun trilogy of spoiler discussions in drunk mode again for the holidays. So actually, in the top left of the screen, I'm pointing this way, but whatever. It's a fucking mirror image. I'm talking to myself. There's going to be an actual alcohol drunk out of 10 counter that's going to appear in about 3, 2, 1. I'm just fucking with you. Come on, anyone who sees the channel, they know there is no production value here on this channel. Fucking, like, you think I'm going to put a fucking like alcohol counter up on there? You can just tell from my mood as these reviews will go on. Fucking, that's all you need to know. But we are talking about 2016's The Boy, directed by William Brent. What the fuck's his name? William Brent Bell. Who he's done some good movies in the past, you know, like The Devil Inside, Where, which is a great werewolf movie. I really enjoy that movie. And he's directing the Orphan sequel that's supposed to come out this year, which I really highly enjoy. The first Orphan, like Orphan, is a pretty good movie. It's highly enjoyable, and I'm definitely interested to see where they go with the sequel for that. But after seeing when this movie came out, it's not a bad movie. It's not like a terrible movie. It's not great. It's not good even. Like it's just it's fine. Like it's nothing like that you're gonna be like, oh shit, let's get a like party together and watch The Boy every year, or like no, like absolutely not. But and then the sequel, man. I mean, the sequel just completely takes us in a complete different direction. Like that also makes just no sense at all. So I picked these movies just because of the holiday today and wanting to talk about just absolutely ridiculous movies. So that's what we're doing here today on 4th of July night. We already got the fireworks out of the way with my family, my daughter and everything. So she's all satisfied with the day and everything. So it is now horror mode like it is every night. So we got starring the beautiful Lauren Cohen, who obviously was her claim to fame was Walking Dead, playing Maggie, which she does a good job in this. Like I love her as an actress. Like and yes, I'm bringing this up, fucking the Vampire Diaries TV show and stuff. She plays Rose in that. And fuck you, fucking Vampire Diaries is a good show, man. Like I won't hear anything else about it. Like it is. Like, and I mean, maybe a lot of it is nostalgia from like I watched that show with my daughter's mother and stuff when we were first together and everything, and it was like a 5-hour long distance thing. So she ended up saying, "Oh, let's watch this show and stuff." You know, like that stupid shit you do every now and then just to like watch a movie with like someone you're with, and you just like when you can't be with them and you start at the same time and watch it. So we were doing that with the Vampire Diaries for like the first 7, 8 episodes and stuff, and I was bored out of my fucking mind, man. I had to pretend to my daughter's mom at the time and stuff like it, and this was before my daughter was born, but like pretend and like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. Like the whole time I'm like browsing on my phone, not paying attention. And then like after like 7 episodes, 8 episodes, something like that, like I really got into that show. Like I don't know what it is, man, but like it's a good show. Come on, you got Damon, fucking, you got Ian Somerhalder in that fucking show. Like he's great. Like come on, how can people shit on that show? Like it's by far like the best like CW type like teenage show out there. like that revolves around like supernatural shit and like horror in a way and everything like that. Like fucking a million times better than Twilight, I'll give you that. I don't know who I'm giving it to. Whatever, this is gonna be these fucking 3 movies, these spoiler discussions are just gonna be all over the place. So I'll just say that right now. Even looking at the time, I'm like, damn, it's only 5 minutes into this video. Like, but and we also have Rupert Evans who plays Malcolm and stuff, and I love their chemistry together in this movie. Like, Cohen and Evans have a really good chemistry on screen here, and it's kind of just like a shame that it's wasted on like this movie, like that it takes place in The Boy, of all things. But so we have Greta Evans, who takes on, I mean, I'll give a little spoiler-free thing here for people who haven't seen it. But we have this girl, Greta, who ends up taking this nanny job in England for this old couple as a nanny job and stuff, and has to babysit. And she gets there and finds out that it's a doll that is their child, that she's going to be taken care of for the next several months while they're on holiday. And Doll ends up fucking with her throughout the movie and stuff. And that's basically the whole synopsis of this movie. So if you haven't seen it, like I said, it's not a good movie or a great movie or anything. It's not terrible. It's not bad. Like, there's some good stuff in this. Like I always say, like I always try to find in any movie, like some silver linings and good things and stuff like that. Unless the movie's just flat out terrible, like fucking Return to Sleepaway Camp. Like, I keep saying I'm not going to bring that up again, and I keep fucking doing it. So, if anyone hasn't seen my Return to Sleepaway Camp video and like the little add-on video and stuff discussing the ending, if you want some laughs, man, check that shit out, because like even that shit cracks me up. Just fucking hearing like the few times I've rewatched that, after like friends and like other people have told me like dude, that fucking video is funny as shit, and I watch it, it cracks me up actually. So who knows, gotta be doing something right. But yeah, so spoilers coming up now. So anyone who hasn't seen this, it's on Netflix, so it's a sequel. I don't know if watching The Boy and Brahms The Boy 2 is your ideal fucking 4th of July night, like. But if it is for some reason, go check them out, and then you can come back and watch, hear my thoughts on them and everything. So we got Greta, like I said, moves to England, and she's babysitting for the Hillshires, this wealthy family and stuff who lives in England, and babysitting for their son, who turns out to be a doll. And they do a good job, though, like throughout this movie, like making it seem like, oh, we got the haunted sauna back again. See, every time it's a fucking supernatural movie, or like, this isn't even really supernatural, but like anything that has to do with just ghosts or fucking like possessed things or like evil dolls or anything, the fucking lights flicker like crazy in this room. When I did fucking Creep and stuff like that, and the 2 Creep films, like Mungo, fucking that shit was fine. Like, that light didn't flicker one bit. So, like, again, maybe this is a haunted sauna, dude. I don't know. But, Malcolm, as we meet, is like, brings her all the groceries and stuff. He's like the grocery guy and brings deliveries every week and stuff like that. And he basically, man, I don't know what that was, just getting that out just now. He tells her that he can't explain Brahms to her, like when she asks about the kid. Really? Like, he can't explain anything? Like, he can't prepare this woman for what she's about to walk into one bit? Here's me being Malcolm. What can you tell me about Brahms? Well, he died when he was young and stuff like that, and the Hillshires now take care of this doll that they think is their son. There you go. Like, that's the fucking explanation. Like, that's easing her into it a little bit. He couldn't do that. Like, he couldn't say anything about it. He just said, I can't explain it. I just explained it. Anyone, like, in that situation can easily explain that away. Just to ease this woman into what she's about to walk into. But he's more interested in talking about gum and shit than fucking, like, doing anything about that. Her first reaction to meeting Brahms is hysterical. Like, the way she reacts is exactly how I would react. Just hysterical laughter. Like, are you serious? Like, this is what I'm doing here? I'm here for months to take care of this fucking porcelain doll that you two old fucking senile people think is a real kid. Really? And then like they give her the meanest looks when she's laughing. Like, I'm sure this is normal for them, but you bring in somebody rational, like a normal human being, and they laugh at the whole idea of this, and then they're the dick. Like, they're the asshole for laughing because of how ridiculous this is. Come on, man, really? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and just the whole premise of just getting there and finding out that you're babysitting a doll that these people really believe. I mean, we find out later and stuff, the whole truth and stuff. But just from her point of view, that these people really believe is their son and treat the doll like it's their son. And that's it? Like, you just accept this. You're not out of there immediately? Because at the fucking least, you're taking advantage of, like, an elderly couple who are not mentally well. And at the very worst, like, get the fuck out of there. Your life's in fucking danger, man. Are you serious? Like, there's only so many, like, thoughts that you can have in that moment. And those are the two. For me, that stick out. Like either you're walking into some serious shit, or you're taking advantage of like really like out there old people, which are both suck, man. Like both of those situations. And like I was saying, like when she says Mrs. Heelshire, and she's saying like his clean clothes are in the drawer and stuff like that. Like, what does it even matter about changing this doll's clothes? Does he hit the fucking rugby field like every Tuesday night and he's like, he dirties his shit up and it needs to be cleaned? Does he like, I don't know, does he fucking like go out for midnight strolls on the beach and get sand all over his clothes and they gotta be cleaned or anything like that? Like, does he have like bad ejaculatory aim and like soils his fucking pants and stuff like that? Like, come on, really? Like, he needs fucking clean clothes? Like, get the fuck out of here. Are you serious with that? Like, that, and it makes no sense with the whole, like, premise of this movie and what happens later on when we find out that it's not really the doll's not just a doll. And it's Brahms living in the walls and everything. And I'll get to that because I wrote down all the rules that is on the piece of paper for Brahms and stuff to take care of him. But, like, clean clothes for the doll? Like, what the fuck does the real Brahm give a shit about what this doll is wearing? And that it's wearing clean clothes. And how would his clothes get dirty in the first place? Like I said, like, unless this doll is really haunted or, like, alive and, like, just strolls down the fucking road at night and fucking, like, falls into a drainage ditch and fucking... and he needs to be fucking changed and stuff. Like, it makes no sense at all. Like, it's so ridiculous. The whole reading loud and prominently and the loud music and stuff like that, like... It makes sense because he's living in the walls. So, like, those rules make sense. Reading out loud and stuff up to him, like bedtime stories and stuff, and like reading time during the day. Like, read it real loud and pronounce, as Miss Heelshire says. Makes sense because he's living in the walls. He needs to hear it. And the same thing with the loud music. You know, he wants to hear the music. So that all makes sense. But... when the parents are whispering to Brahms and stuff like that and like discussing like whether he wants Greta to be the one to take care of him and everything like that, like they're whispering to this doll. There's no way the real Brahms is hearing this through the walls. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, that's so stupid. That is so ridiculous. But man, that grandfather clock is gorgeous, right? Yeah, anyone noticed that when they watched this movie? What a beautiful grandfather clock. Like, it is fucking, I would love to have that clock. It looks so cool. What a gorgeous looking clock. I don't know, just just something I thought of and brought up. A really nice looking clock. The scene with Brahms, the doll, like tearing, and Greta comes into the room and like it kind of creeps her out at first because it looks like the doll's crying and she was just hearing like somebody crying and stuff, and she walks in there and it's dripping down his face and everything. Cool. And then she realizes that it's the leaky roof and stuff because it's like fucking pouring rain out and it's coming from the roof and stuff dropping. What are the chances that the doll is in the exact same spot that it is, that the fucking leak in the roof would fall exactly right on his eye and make it look like he's fucking crying and stuff like that? Like, really? Come on, man. Like, that's absolutely insane. Like, and Brahms has a fucking lullaby. Like, the title of it is Brahms' Lullaby. You see it when she's playing the piano. And, like, was this a whole thing on the resume for, like, the nanny job and stuff like that? Was, like, must be able to play piano? Or, like, must be able to read sheet music? Because, like, it's all written in sheet music. And like I said on the channel, like, I'm a musician for fucking 2 decades, fucking plus now. Like, I can't read sheet music much. Like, I play guitar primarily, but I play other instruments and stuff. But I've always just learned by ear or by tabs, and by, like, if the tabs are wrong, just, using my ear to figure out what's wrong with it and fix it. But, like, was that part of the job? Was that part of the resume? Did it say on there, like, must be a good piano player, must be a great pianist, like, must be able to read sheet music? Because that narrows this down, like, a lot, like, for like job opportunities for people who are looking for this nanny job. It definitely narrows it down a little bit. But yeah, Brahms has his own fucking lullaby. Like, who wrote this? Like, it was one of the Hillshires, I'm assuming, but they wrote a fucking lullaby for their, like, 33-year-old son, like my age-year-old son, which is what he would be, like, from when he died to this is like 20 years after or something like that, or maybe he's even a little older or something like that. But, like, he has his own lullaby titled Brahms' Lullaby. Like, that's so ridiculous. We find out that Brahms died in a fire 20 years ago. And I mean, man, the Hillshires are fucking troopers, right? Like, they've been dealing with this for 20 years, and they know that, like, this is where this whole movie falls apart. It's just the fact that the doll is fine. Like, the doll is not alive. The doll has no supernatural, like, anything, elements to it or anything in this movie. It's just that there's the actual Brahms who survived the fire is living in the walls. And it's weird because I just did a discussion on Castle Freak the other night. And this reminds me a bit, like, on this rewatch, like, it reminded me of Castle Freak. That she's in this house, and Malcolm, who's in and out and everything throughout the movie, and there's somebody also living in this house, living in this place that she's at, and stalking her, basically, and taking her clothes, and, like, all this crazy shit. Except there's a doll thrown in to throw you off. Like, this is basically like Castle Freak. It really is. Like, it really made me think of that, especially of just watching it, like, a night or two ago. Like, really made me get strong Castle Freak vibes from this, and just made me want to rewatch that better movie instead of this. But hey, I already watched it once in the last few days. They do a good job, though, of making you think the doll is alive. Like, I will say that. Like, the first time I saw this movie, like, I didn't see the whole thing with him in the walls coming. Like, I had my suspicions that it had nothing to do with the doll, but, like, they do a good job. Like, for people's first viewing of this movie, like, they do a decently good job of making it seem like it is a possessed doll, or, like, a spirit, or what have you, whatever you want to call it. Like Malcolm says and stuff, a spirit or a ghost or whatever, I don't even know. Like, whatever you want to call it. But they do a good job of making it seem that way. Like, this is just another evil doll movie and stuff like that, a possessed doll movie. And then we find out later that it has nothing to do with the doll at all. Like, they do a decently good job with that. The scene in the attic, after she's taking a shower and she has her red dress and she's going out with Malcolm and stuff like that, and Brahms steals the dress, and then she goes up into the attic in her towel and everything, and then, like, the door for the attic slams and she's stuck up there all night and misses her date with Malcolm and everything. Like, it's a decent scene. It's a good scene. Like, there's some tension throughout it. But, like, After that happened, you'd think she'd be out, right? Like, get me the fuck out of this house. Like, I'm done. Like, are you serious? Like, immediately though, like the change that she goes, Greta, from not believing this at all, and that this old couple is just insane, that this doll is their child to them, to completely 180 around to taking care of Brahms, the doll, like it's her fucking passion. Like, it's so fast. Like, she swivels from one perspective to the other and so quickly in this movie. Like there's no fucking, this is ridiculous and stuff like that. And then, like, her clothes go missing and stuff, like she's stuck in the attic and stuff, and immediately she jumps to, this is real, like this is a magical doll. Like, it doesn't cross your mind at all that somebody else is in this house. Like, serious? Like, is that a joke? Like, did they really make a joke there, like, at the audience of, like, yeah, you guys are this stupid, so we'll just, like, not cover that at all. Like, she doesn't think at all that it's a possibility that there's somebody else in this house before jumping to fantastical spirit doll. Come on, are you really? Like, that's so stupid. And Malcolm I like Malcolm. I really like his character. He's just a chill guy, nice guy, and like he has, like I said, and their chemistry together and stuff between Greta and Malcolm. Really good in this movie. Like I said, I was kind of wasted from being in this movie. Like, I would have rather seen the two of them together in some much better movie than in this. So let's go over the rules of Brahms real quick. I fucking paused it and wrote this shit down. No guests. All right, makes sense. You know, and this is all assuming that the Hillshires have known for 20 years and stuff that their kid is still alive and lives in the walls and everything. Which is, they have to know. Like, that's why they went away and committed suicide and everything, because they couldn't deal with it any longer. The whole doll thing is just them putting on an act in front of Greta and stuff. Like, that's never really explored either, but like, that's basically what you take from it, is that they know and stuff that their kid was a fucking, killed this girl and stuff that Malcolm mentions and stuff, that he killed a girl at his birthday party and they found the body in the woods and everything with her head crushed in, and that before the cops can get there to question Brahms, that's when the fire happened and the Hillshires got out, but Brahms died in the fire and stuff. Like, so we're assuming that the Hillshires started that fire and then just faked the death of their son Brahms and just had him living in the walls and stuff this whole time. Like, right? Like, that's what I take from this movie. Like, I've seen this movie like maybe 3-4 times, and I've always taken it that way. So maybe, who knows, maybe it's not. But that's definitely what I take from it. Rule number 2, never leave Brahms alone. Why? Like, that makes no sense. Like, some of these rules make sense to the whole premise and stuff of real Brahms living in the walls and stuff like that. Some of them do make sense. Some of them are just fucking ridiculous. Like, are insane. Like, make no sense at all. And that's one of them. Like, she can't leave him alone. Like, does that mean ever? Does that mean, like, through the whole day, that doll must be in the same room with her? That you can't leave this doll alone? What does that have to do with the real Brahms? Like I said, like what does this fucking guy care if the doll's in clean clothing? Or, like, whatever the fuck the doll wears or does or, like, walks around or, like, we know it doesn't, but, like, what does he care about this doll at all? Like, Malcolm even says that the doll came in, like, showed up and stuff, like, after Brahms died. So it's not like this is, like, his little snuggle worm or glowworm from, like... If anyone remembers Glowworm, man. Fucking, like, it's not like it's his little, like he has a connection to this doll and stuff, like, before he supposedly died. So, like, what is the whole connection there? Like, what does he give a shit? What goes on with this doll? If it's just a real person living in the walls. That, you can't make sense of anything in here. And then, rule number 3. Literally, this is what it says. Dave meals in freezer. It fucking says Dave. Like, I paused this. Like, I was paused on the list. It says Dave Meals in freezer. So that was a typo that nobody thought would ever notice, but fucking, like, I did, fucking, immediately. I looked at it and said, yeah, what? Like, leave? I'm sure they meant to say leave, but they didn't. They put Dave Meals in freezer, which all of that rule right there, she's leaving food for Brahms in the fucking freezer and stuff like that. For him to, apparently take later on to eat. Like, he needs to eat, right? He's in the walls. This guy needs to fucking eat, and we see later on when we see his room and everything, he has a fridge and stuff like that. Like, do they stock that shit up, like, just in case she didn't follow these rules? But she does, and she puts food in the freezer and stuff, but, like, if he's taking this food to eat, which he needs to fucking eat, wouldn't eventually, like, she notice the food's missing every time and then, like tip her off immediately that something weird is happening here? And it's like, come on, like, none of this makes any sense at all. Never cover Brahms's face. That too. Fucking rule number 4. What the fuck does that matter? And she does that immediately. Like, as soon as the Hillshires leave, she's like, Brahms, like, no offense, you scared the shit out of me, and fucking, like, throws a sheet on his face. But, like, what does it matter? Like, to the real Brahms, that this doll's face is covered. Is he, like, I don't even know, man. You guys figure it out and let me know. Because I'd really like to know. Read a bedtime story. See, that one makes sense. She has to read loud and pronounce like the mom said to her and everything. So that one makes sense because he has to hear it through the walls. And that one, fine. We'll give that a pass. The same with rule number 6. Fucking play music loud and stuff. Playing it loud. He's got to hear it through the walls. He loves his music. Makes sense. Nothing to fucking really get out there. Clean the traps is number 7 with the rat traps and stuff like that. They say he's a peculiar boy and everything, and he doesn't like having, I guess, rats fucking running around his like little private room in the walls or something. And conveniently, there's a rat in the trap when Mr. Hillshire is showing her like the traps and like what to do and stuff like that. Like, really, like there just happened to be a rat trapped in there. Like, if this was any other day. And not just for the convenience of this movie. Would there be a rat in there? Because if there was, like every fucking day or every other day, they got severe fucking rodent issues in that house. And they should be more worried about that than their fucking fake doll son, real fucking old son baby that lives in the fucking walls of their house. Like, they should be more concerned with fucking the rat issues than anything else at that point. Like, if every single day or every other day they're finding dead rats in these traps, they got to call an exterminator, like, immediately. And maybe it'll take out the real Brahms too, and then we wouldn't have to suffer through these 2 movies. Who knows, man? Who knows? Only Malcolm, number 8, only Malcolm brings deliveries. Why? This makes no sense either. Like, why? Like, why is Malcolm the only one? He doesn't know about Brahms. He doesn't know the real story. He doesn't know that he's living in the walls or anything like that. He doesn't even believe that the doll is... He thinks that they're fucking crazy, this old couple, and that they take care of this doll. So why is he the only one that's allowed to bring deliveries? Like, what if he got sick with the flu? What if he fell off a fucking bridge and died when they had to get somebody else? Like, anything. Like, what does that matter at all? Like, someone tell me, please. Like, if someone could break down all these rules in the comments or something like that down the line, please let me know. Because I would love to, like, hear sense try to be made out of all of these rules for this doll. But they don't, so no one will ever do it. And Brahms is never to leave, number 9. All right. Again, like, it's a fucking doll. It has nothing to do with the real Brahms. So, like, the doll can't leave the premises? The doll is on, like, infinite fucking house arrest? The doll is fucking grounded for the rest of its, I can't even say natural born life, but, like, artificially born life? Which ends, like, near the end of this movie, yeah, but, like, like, why? Like, please tell me why. Like, this doll can't leave the house. She can't take him out for a walk or something like that. What does that have to do? And that's That sounds so stupid, just coming out of my mouth. Like, take it for a walk. But, like, what does that have to do with real Brahms at all? Again, no attachment to this doll. It's not like it's been, like, the doll that he's been cuddling and sleeping with since he's 1 year old, and, like, it's, like, his favorite toy in the world or anything. No, like, we were told that this doll showed up and stuff, like, after Brahms was supposed to have died in the fire. So there is no nostalgia for Brahms attached to this doll. At all. And I don't want to keep repeating myself, but, like, what does it have to do with the real Brahms? Like, nothing at all. And then the kiss goodnight thing, like, is number 10. Kiss Brahms goodnight. Yeah, you can argue maybe that the real Brahms gets his fucking kicks off and stuff like that, just living through, like, vicariously through this doll and getting a kiss from Greta every night. Like, maybe, yeah. But, again, like, fucking ridiculous, dude. And it's 10 rules, that's it. The perfect 10, like a top 10 list and stuff. It's that fucking just aesthetically pleasing number for a list. Like, there's not 12 fucking rules. There's not like 15. There's not 17. There's not 7. There's not like, no, it has to be perfect 10 fucking, like, 10 rules. These are the fucking 10 commandments for Brahms as the doll. And you must adhere to them. Otherwise you will burn in a lake of hell and fire for all eternity. The 10 Brahms commandments is what we'll go with. And then we have Brahms's phone call and stuff to her, which is, it's eerie and stuff. And, like, but dude, this guy's in his 30s, right? Like, why does he talk like a fucking child? Why does he talk like a fucking baby? Like, that doesn't make sense either. Like, come on. He talks like a fucking, like, little kid. Why? Just because he wants to be a kid again? But he's not. He's a fucking grown-ass adult living in the walls of a house for 20 years. Sure, that would fuck you up mentally, no doubt. It's like being in prison and stuff. Like, you see some people come out of prison, they're never the same again. But again, the connection to the doll, like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's like he's trying to talk like he's the doll. Like, he's this, like, little kid, which he's not. So none of that makes sense. And then he doesn't do that later. He breaks all of that later, those rules of him talking like a child, when he's, like, screaming at Greta later and stuff, like, as, like, a regular ass adult. So, like, none of that makes sense. But it is an eerie little phone call and stuff. It's like the calls are coming from inside the house. Oh, man. But, like, how does he even make that phone call? Like, when she was on the phone and stuff, like, with her, I'm guessing it's a family member or something, right? The person that she's on the phone with a few times in this movie. And then, like, later, like, Cole, the whole ex-boyfriend, abusive ex-boyfriend, whole subplot and stuff, that he ends up finding the address of where she's staying for this job because the friend or family member she's talking to on the phone's 10-year-old son gave Cole the address. Like, why does this 10-year-old even have the address for this place that Greta's moved to work and take this job? Like, that's so fucking crazy, man. Come on. Like, does he have his own phone line, Brahms? In the walls? Like, that's insane. Like, if that's the case. Like, they're trying to keep this a secret for all these years that Brahms is alive and stuff. They're sure as shit not giving him his own phone line so he could be calling fucking, like, sex call workers and shit at night and, like, doing some phone sex, and they're, like, fucking calling into fucking radio stations to try to win tickets to fucking a concert or something like that. Like, he can't leave the house, man. Like, why does he have his own phone line? That's the only thing that makes sense in that. Like, he cut the phone line or something because she lost the call. Then she gets a call, so he reattached the phone lines after that. And again, where is he calling from? Like, it has to be from his little fucking room and shit, like in the walls. So he has to have his own phone. And then why would he have his own phone? Why would the parents give this guy his own phone when they're trying to hide the fact that he's alive still? Like, it's so ridiculous, man. And this is a very well-made movie, though. Like, the cinematography and stuff, just looking at the film, like, it's a well-made film. Like, it looks good. Like, you're watching it and stuff, like, it has good lighting. It has good, like, the setting is good and everything. There's some good shots and stuff. Like, and that's why I say, like, it's not a terrible movie. It's not a bad movie. Like the sequel, I don't even remember the sequel. I remember I watched it when it came out, and like 25 minutes into it, I was like, "This sucks, man," and I just fell asleep. Like, and I haven't seen it since. So like, it'll be very interesting to rewatch that and see exactly how bad that movie really is. Because yeah, it was bad just in the first like 25 minutes. So definitely want to see how that fucking plays out. And Brahms walking in the hallway when she's like in her room with the door closed and stuff, and you just see someone walking under the slit in the door and everything like that. He's taking a lot of chances, Brahms, of just exposing himself like immediately. Like, what if she like saw that, like, you know, the shadow under the door and immediately ran to the door and opened it up? It's like, oh hi, I'm real Brahms. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to be trespassing outside your room right now. Like, what would he do? What would he say? Like, what's the whole point of that? Like, he's taking a lot of risk and putting a lot of faith in Greta for her not opening doors, or like there's a shot that he just walks behind her and stuff, and then like she doesn't turn around or anything. Like, I don't know. The Hillshires killed themselves on their little holiday and stuff, which was obviously just a little suicide pact that they had, and the letter that they send back to Brahms about the girl's yours now, and that you have to take care of her, and that we can't go on anymore with what we've let you become, which again like plays into, they obviously know that their son's living in the walls for 20 years and that the whole doll thing is just complete bullshit. I don't know, like this movie's so hard to make sense of in any way, but again, like, must be a good pianist is on the resume, because she's playing again like the piano and stuff, or trying to, like with Brahms the doll sitting next to her and everything. Like, that must have been on the resume. Like, it had to be. Like, how are they going to expect anyone to play the absolute classic of Brahms' Lullaby for any if they don't know how to read sheet music and stuff? Like definitely had to be in the resume for this nanny position. Her trying to show Malcolm that Brahms is alive and stuff, and like putting the chalk right, like drawing the chalk around the doll on the floor and stuff like that, and then they leave the room and say he has to be in private, and he's shy, and then they go back in and he hasn't moved at all, and fucking and Malcolm's sitting there like, all right, why don't we just sit down? Like, you're starting to scare me. Like, you seem like you're tired or something. Like, yeah, like, good voice of reason, man. Like, this woman's losing her fucking mind. That's exactly what I would think in this situation. If I was him, absolutely. This girl has lost her fucking mind. Like, she's actually taking care of this doll. Like, it's like a child. And then they walk out again. And after she talks to the doll and is like pleading with it, and she's saying like, come on, Brahms, like, just do this for me. Like, please, I know it's hard, blah, blah, blah. But again, he's in the walls. She's whispering to the doll. He's not hearing this. Like, he's just not. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm not having a discussion on it. Like, he does not hear the whispers throughout this house. That's the whole reason there's the rules for being loud and pronounced and blasting the music and everything, is so that he can hear it through the walls. He's not hearing this whole plead to the doll to please do its thing and move and stuff to prove it to Malcolm from her whispering and stuff like that. No. Like, the answer is no. And the entire subplot with Cole, with the ex-boyfriend, the abusive dick and stuff like that, and her losing the baby and everything like that. Just a reason to get someone killed in this movie, right? Like, that's it. Like, that's the only reason this whole subplot was even put in this movie. Was just so that we would have somebody get killed by Brahms. And it had to be, the abusive dickhead ex-boyfriend. They weren't going to kill Greta off. They weren't going to kill Malcolm off. Like, they were, two well-liked characters and stuff. They're good characters. So they just brought this whole subplot of Cole, the abusive dick, ex-boyfriend and everything, and having him show up and everything just for him to get killed, right? Like, there's no other reason that I see. Besides, it's so manufactured. Like, it's so obvious that this is the reason that he even exists. And at that point, like after seeing him interacting with her when he gets there and stuff like that, like I'm rooting for Brahms. Which is fucked up, dude. Like, I don't want to be rooting for fucking an evil doll or an evil psychotic fucking supposed to be dead but alive child that lives in the walls like Castle Freak. Fucking, I don't want to be rooting for that, but like Cole makes me do that. Like Cole is a fucking asshole, man. And like it's just like, just get him, man. Just fucking kill this guy, please. And then, like I said earlier about Brahms, Malcolm says that I didn't want to withhold this information for you, but I didn't want to scare you off and stuff like that. And says about Brahms, the birthday party when he was young, and the girl Emily who disappeared and was found in the woods and stuff, and they went to question Brahms and all that shit. I mentioned this earlier, all right? Who knows, fucking, but but yeah, he was a fucking evil kid as it was. And Greta's her whole thing of saying to Malcolm that Brahms wouldn't hurt her. Like, I know it. He wouldn't hurt me. Really? Like, really? Like, they really threw that line in there. Like, for really? Like, that is so stupid. Like, when have you ever heard a story, you know, a fictional story, obviously, or a scene in a movie or anything, a doll that's alive or possessed or haunted or anything that doesn't have evil intentions right off the bat? Never. That's one. Like, not, never. Fucking, like, Chucky, fucking Dolly Dearest, fucking the Puppet Master movies. I mean, it depends who they're with in that, yeah, but like, still, they're fucking murderous fucking puppets. Like, anything that with a doll or a puppet or a mannequin or anything to that nature and stuff, I have yet to see a horror movie where they're the equivalent of Casper the Friendly Ghost, where they like wake you up with breakfast in bed every day, where they fucking, like, if it's a blow up sex doll and it just gives great service and then it just like retires back to its quarters for the night and leaves you alone. Like, well, there's no fucking story of an evil doll or possessed doll or anything like that, even though, again, the doll is just a doll in this movie. It's not in the next one, though, which makes no fucking sense at all, which is the whole premise of the sequel to this movie is just ridiculous, like absolutely insane. And it's the same director, which blows my mind that he did both of these movies. And how much worse the sequel is, like, to this. And this is not a great movie, like I said. But that movie is bad, man. The sequel, like Brahms the Boy 2. Fucking terrible. That's going to be fun to rewatch while I have some more whiskey. Fucking real nice. Let's see here. Let's get to the fucking end of this movie, finally. Yeah, but he wouldn't hurt her. Get the fuck out of here. The whole thing that I would be thinking that entire time is this thing is going to fucking hurt me. This thing is going to kill me. But she's so sure that Brahms is not going to hurt her. For what? Like, for what reason? Like, all right, I can't spend any more time on this. But Cole arrives, and what a fucking asshole this guy is. It's, again, pleading just for Brahms to come and kill him. And I think it's funny that, like, Greta, like, brings out the blanket and stuff for Cole to stay on the couch and stuff like that, and he's like, I guess I'm not sleeping with you tonight and stuff. And then, like, a few scenes later, she's, like, laying in bed with Brahms. Like, she would rather, like, snuggle up with this doll that she thinks is, like, a spirit or a ghost than with her ex-boyfriend. That's fucking hysterical to me, man. We get the Get Out written in like rat's blood or whatever on the fucking walls, which, how did he get up there, the real Brahms? Like, that shit's like high up. Like, it's not like, did he grab a fucking step stool? Did he stand on top of, like, move the furniture around and stand on top of the couch to, like, reach up there, write all that shit out while fucking Cole was sleeping, and then, like, retire back to his quarters, move everything back, and then move back into the wall and shit before he woke up or anyone else, so, like, Greta would hear that or anything? Like, come on. That makes no sense at all. Like, either. Like, makes no sense. And all that does, seeing Get Out written on there in blood, just makes me wish I was watching the movie Get Out instead of this movie. Like, that's all that scene does for me now. Ever since that movie came out, I'd much rather be watching Get Out than The Boy. Jesus, man. And then the whole scene with Cole smashing doll Brahms, and then the real Brahms crashing through the fucking window, the fucking mirror and everything, and then comes out and kills him and everything. Cool scene, like it is. Like the first time I saw this movie, like I said, they did a good job with making it seem like the doll. So like did not, like I had my suspicions, like I said, but I did not see that coming. Like once he destroyed the doll, and then once he destroyed the doll, after that you hear the noises going through the walls and stuff. It kind of tips it off right there. But up until he broke the doll, I didn't see that coming. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I wasn't paying attention because this movie is not that great. But that's a whole cool scene though, with him doing that whole thing, and breaking the doll and everything. And then the real Brahms, ends up killing Cole with the piece of the doll, like the piece of his face that's after it's been broken to fucking powder. And he takes the thing and stabs him in the neck. That's cool. A cool little scene. And Brahms' design looks cool. Like he's wearing the doll mask and everything like that. Like, does he wear this 24/7? Like, does he have this all the time on? Like, just to like really get into the role of like being the fucking doll, like living vicariously through the doll, like I said earlier, or did he just throw this mask on to be fucking extra creepy? Like when he came out of I keep saying window, when he comes out of the fucking mirror to kill fucking Cole. And like, if Cole never showed up, like, would he ever have made himself like known to Greta? Like, would he have just like went the few months, which we know now wouldn't be a few months, it would be fucking forever, because the fucking parents, the Hillshires, killed themselves. They're not coming back. So she'd be there fucking taking care of this thing forever. So I guess when she's like really done and like about to leave, is I guess when he'd make himself known. But like, if Cole didn't show up, how long would she go just taking care of this doll? Like, like an insane person. Like, really? Like, I don't know. Like, it's a long time, I'm guessing. Like, months. She'd probably stick around, like, taking care of this thing. But the design of Brahms does look kind of cool. Like, how many doors and secret passages are in this house? Like, there's gotta be a lot. Because, like, it seems like almost every room in this huge-ass house seems to have some way of Brahms coming out of the wall and sneaking in and then sneaking right back out and stuff before Greta can see him, or that he can move the doll and then get out, or anything. Like, there has to be so many fucking, like, secret doors and, like, walls and stuff in this house. That who built them? Like, the house didn't come that way. Did they build them, like, the Hillshires, the father must have built the walls and secret doors and everything, like after they had the fire and they had everyone, they had Brahms fucking living in the walls to hide him from everybody, or I don't know. Like, again, there's so much that just makes no sense. Then they find Malcolm and Greta and stuff after Cole gets killed and Brahms chasing after them and stuff. And they find Brahms' room and stuff, and like, dude, he's got a little pimp pen for somebody who lives in the fucking walls and stuff. He has a fucking little table. He's got a refrigerator. He's got a little fucking bedroom and everything like that. Like, not too bad. Like, he's got it better than fucking prison. Like, I'll tell you that. And apparently he has a phone line, like I said earlier. So he's got that going for him too. Like, but like the shot of Greta seeing like the doll that he made with like resembling her, that's supposed to be Greta, like wearing her red dress and everything that he stole earlier in the movie, that's some creepy shit. Imagine, like, you're a woman in this predicament and everything, and you find out that it's not a doll, that this fucking perverted fucking like 30-something-year-old man who was supposed to be dead 20 years ago is living in the walls and spying on you and watching you the whole time, like while you shower or while you sleep. Like, I'm sure she masturbates like while she does that, or she fucks fucking Malcolm or anything like that and stuff. And you see a doll in the bed, like, that's you. You know he fucked this doll. Like, he was fucking this doll. Come on. And like, that is such a creepy scene. Like, just all the thoughts that must be racing through her head and everything. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, this guy's been fucking my like voodoo doll. Like, And then we get a whole nother. I just brought this up in a thing earlier today. It was like an ongoing theme of fucking Tommy Jarvis versus Jason with the psychology and everything, or with Ginny from Friday Part 2 and stuff. And when she just pulls out the whole, all right, Brahms, it's time for bed and stuff like that. And like this guy, is psychopath, just listens to the rules and just puts down the murderous weapon and gets in bed and everything like that. Really? Really? And then and she says like, oh no, that's your punishment. You're not getting a good night kiss tonight and everything. And he just like fucking starts trying to make out with her and everything. And then he ends up getting stabbed by her and stuff through the chest, and he's dead, but not dead. Then her and Malcolm escape. And then we get the ending with Brahms putting the doll back together. No. Did you see that doll explode? Like, really? Like, seriously, these people who wrote this script, like, they saw the dailies while they were, like, filming this movie and everything. The director, so he saw the dailies and stuff and saw this doll face explode into dust, into powder. But yet at the end, like, Brahms perfectly put this doll's face back to life. Or back together, back to life. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But he put that doll's face back together? No. The answer is no, he did not. That makes no sense at all. Like, so many things in this movie, man, like, just make no sense at all. Like I said, like, they tried playing the whole evil doll thing and tried having a little clever twist on it by it being like a castle freak living in the walls and stuff. But I feel like it would have went better either way without the other. Like her just being in the house and stuff and things disappearing and everything, and then we find out that they had a son or something like that, and eventually like it's made known that the son never died and he's living in the walls and he's been stalking her the whole time. Or have an actual, go full out and have an actual fucking evil doll movie is what they tried doing for the sequel. But since the original exists, the sequel makes fucking no sense, like, at all. Like, even more so than this movie. And, Jesus, man, at 5 minutes in, I'm saying to myself, like, damn, it's only 5 minutes, and now it's fucking, like, 52 minutes. Alright, so the end of the movie, like, is ridiculous, like the rest of it. And but like I said, it's not a terrible movie. It's not a bad movie. It's very well made. It's very well shot. Like Cohen's performance as Greta is very good. Guy Evans' performance as Malcolm is very good. And there's some cool shots throughout and stuff, but it's just the whole premise alone could be torn apart so easily. And yeah, so I'll just get into the rest of that with Brahms. Brahms. That's the name of the sequel. Brahms. That's it right there. Brahms the Boy 2, which I will be watching right now. And I will knock that one out and we'll discuss how stupid that is as 4th of July night continues on. So, alright guys, I'll see you in a little bit. Take care.